Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video on this channel. Today I'm going to be talking about Iconic by Mistake, the collaboration between HYBE's active girl groups, lesserafim, I-DLE, and 𝒍𝒍𝒐. So without further ado, let's get started. To be honest, I was really surprised that these three groups did a collaboration, since they have very different concepts. But it's true that for a while now, it feels like they've all been moving towards the same vibe. Ever since 𝒍𝒍𝒐 released gnarly, many of HYBE groups have followed suit and started releasing songs with that defiant vibe. For example, we have lesserafim with songs like Celebrate, a type of concept that they had never done before, and the same goes for I-DLE with itzy. Later on, we'll talk about this sudden shift in direction, but for now, let's just say that their latest tracks all seem to share a common style, so dropping a collab together isn't that weird anymore. Even though collaborations aren't very common in K-pop anyway. The only one that comes to my mind right now is the one of Liz, Winter and Soyeon did, but that wasn't very successful and it was only them and not their groups. Personally, I think it's a very good strategy that they released a track together, and talking more about the song itself, I think it's quite good. It's not the best in their discographies, but it's not the worst either. I think it's a collab that was well taken care of because they wanted it to go well, but I don't see a huge future for it, at least on my playlist. It's a track that was clearly tailored for 𝒍𝒍𝒐, and that makes it feel a bit impersonal for the other two groups. As much as they are doing similar concepts lately, this is a type of track that they have just now started doing, and at least for me, it's not the type of songs I see them do in the future. Iconic by Mistake is about the hate that these three groups receive, which honestly I think are among the K-pop groups that get the most backlash, and they included references to controversies that each one has faced. For example, we have I-DLE, who constantly get mocked for their teeth, and they added lyrics and scenes in the music video where they are at a dentist. Which, by the way, isn't the first time they do this, but this will be relevant later because a certain group has accused them of plagiarism. Then for 𝒍𝒍𝒐 we have Daniela, talking about the controversy that has followed pretty much her whole career, where people say she over-exaggerates her dancing and makes the group look unsynchronized because she stands out too much. And for lesserafim, we have the threats that Chewon reportedly received on her birthday. I feel like these details elevate the lyrics because they talk about themselves, and it makes the track feel a bit more personal since it speaks directly about their experience. I feel that even though the song was written with a specific group in mind, all three of them do it justice and shine equally. I couldn't even say which one I think did the best because genuinely I like them all. About the theme of the song, it goes out to the haters in a very sassy way, but linking this to the wording, I think the lyrics doesn't help the song at all. I feel they are a very 𝒍𝒍𝒐-ish lyrics, no offense, but they are lyrics that are clearly looking to go viral. It's like when a word gets famous on TikTok and suddenly songs start coming out named like that, or using 𝒉𝒆𝒍𝒍𝒐, slay, ate that, or things like that. Companies see it and start making songs with those themes and those lyrics, and they end up sounding very cringe because it doesn't sound natural. You just know the company made it to try to appeal to the TikTok crowd, to that young audience that finds this type of lyrics funny. But for those of us who are very fans of the group and aren't looking for a song that is just a TikTok trend, it doesn't help at all to the song overall. I also saw a YouTube content creator, I will leave her name around here if you want to look her up, who talks about the songs given to HYBE girl groups lately. And I'm sure lots of people agree with her, but I have a different opinion. Basically, she says that these songs aren't worthy of them. I'm paraphrasing a bit, but I remember something like, HYBE should give better songs to this group. Taking I-DLE and lesserafim out of the equation for a moment because I will talk about them now. 𝒍𝒍𝒐 is a group that seems to enjoy this type of tracks. They have been seen enjoying gnarly and songs like Internet Girl, which some members even said that was their favorite 𝒍𝒍𝒐 song. So it's not much the company's fault, but rather their own choice, since that's the concept and theme they want to follow. Plus, the company is clearly just a business. They are going to look for the tracks that become the most famous and bring the most revenue. If you guys go and give support to songs you don't like simply because your favorite group is releasing them, what you're doing is telling the company that you like this type of music and that they should keep going. Afterward, nobody can get mad because they drop songs like the ones you are supporting. If you really don't like these tracks or find them cringe, stop giving them streams on Spotify just to brag about your fave's numbers. say it's the best song the group has dropped or to use it to hate on other groups. Because really the only thing you achieve is that the company sees the numbers go up and thinks it's a good musical direction for the group. I'm not saying HYBE has zero blame for the decline in K-pop music quality, but I do think they just look for profit like any other company does. They see what you like, and since these songs keep generating profit despite the criticism, then what do you expect them to do? Honestly, with illit, I think it's a special case. I saw a clip where Yuna said that Magnetic was a very good song, and when they asked her about It's Me, which is their new song that has a similar vibe to Iconic by Mistake if you look it a certain way, she didn't seem happy with this direction that illit is taking right now.
제일 좋아하는 아일리 노래 저 마그네틱이요. 그거는 그 이츠미 몇 등이냐고요? 노코멘트 하겠습니다. 근데 글릿들이 많이 좋아해주고 대중분들도 많이 좋아해줘서 올라갔어요.
So in this case, yes, I think they should talk to the company because we can all see that this concept doesn't suit them at all. Magnetic, Lucky Girl Syndrome, and Cherish are songs that I feel follow a concept that suits illit very good in my opinion. And if the artists don't adore what they are doing, then it's time to change it. And with lesserafim, they shift concept almost every comeback. Sometimes it gives red velvet with the concept change. So today they are doing Celebration and Iconic by Mistake, but tomorrow they could easily go back to Blue Flame. It's one of billion concepts. I'm glad they tried it out, but I don't think they will stick with it. What I mean by that is that we can always blame the company for every single thing we don't like about the songs when we are actively supporting them. It's with 𝒉𝒍𝒐 where you notice it the most. We all like Gabriella, but their latest songs are completely different to that and are still hugely successful. And Iconic by Mistake is another one of those songs with a gnarly concept, which everyone criticizes but has a big impact. I'm not entirely sure about this, but I saw someone commenting that Iconic by Mistake was originally written for 𝒉𝒍𝒐, the music video was produced by lesserafim's team, and the choreography that is perfect was done by illit's team, which would actually make a lot of sense. One thing I don't really like about the song is that they don't have joint verses. When it's illit's verse, they only sing, and the same with 𝒉𝒍𝒐 and illit. There are no shared verses where you can hear members from different groups mixing their voices together, and not only with the line distribution, this separation can also be seen in the music video and choreography, that they don't interact at any point. In the music video, it's probably because they weren't together when filming. On one hand, I get that it's very hard to sync schedules for everyone to be in Korea or wherever they film the music video together on the same day. But I also think that if you are incapable as a company of doing that, maybe it's not the best idea to release a collab song with 3 different groups. On the bright side, I do like that they were able to do performances together, and I'm glad they found a slot for everyone to be there to do the song live. About the choreography, they probably had to practice on their own, as there are no formations that actually bring the members together. Each one has their own space on stage, which is actually a bit sad because part of the fun of a collaboration is seeing different artists unite to create something that belongs to everyone. Here I feel like each group just contributed their own part and the company spliced them together. Because what do you mean they each have their pairs, scenes in the music video, and they do the choreography by groups separated on stage? Overall, the live performance of the song is actually really good. All 3 groups are completely synchronized, they have great vocals, and overall it is a very solid stage. It must be so difficult to pull off because creating a choreography that can include so many members cannot be easy. Now I want to talk about the controversies. The first and simplest one that people have been commenting on is why all HYBE's girl groups are in this collaboration except for 𝒉𝒐9. Some people are arguing if it is because 𝒉𝒐9 aren't popular enough. First of all, yes, they aren't popular enough. And second, they left HYBE back in 2024. My question is, why isn't Pristin in it? Or even better, After School. Very bad move, HYBE. Then we have a Nuku girl group called BVS that has accused HYBE and illit of plagiarizing their music video. There is a scene in the MV where illit members appear in a dentist office and there's a very specific angle. And BVS posted an Instagram story of their music video with screenshots of that scene of illit, implying that they had copied them. When I saw it, I did think that the colors, the angle, and everything looked very similar. But then I remembered that illit already had a scene like that in one of their music videos, long before this girl group's video came out. So I think more than copying it, what they were doing was referencing one of their previous music videos, just like we've seen references to other music videos and dance steps from 𝒉𝒐 and lesserafim. I think this group's company shot themselves in the foot, since I-DLE used that angle and those resources way before them. But well, there is also controversy over the number of members present. Obviously, manon is not there, which is understandable since she has been on hiatus for a long time. Not so understandable for some, but on the other hand, Mocha from I-DLE is in the audio recording but not in the music video, and Jaewon went on hiatus but is on the music video and performance. So people have started doing the math on when the song and the music video were recorded to see if manon could have been present or not. Because you know all the controversy about whether she will return to the group or not. And what I've seen people agree on is that they recorded the performance in May or April, since there is a makeup for Lara that she uploaded right around that time. And besides, Sakura's hair is blonde, which helped us a lot to know more or less when it was filmed. All of this just to corroborate that manon was indeed on hiatus when it was recorded. I feel like there is a constant review of whether manon could have been included in 𝒉𝒐's activities or not. This point is already tiring. I don't know if manon is going to come back, but what I do know is that she's currently on hiatus, so she cannot participate. Checking every single thing 𝒉𝒐 drops to know if it was recorded before or after the hiatus announcement start to getting old. I think the fact that they give us so little information has made me lose interest in even speculating why is she on hiatus. At this point, I don't want to say I don't care if she comes back, but if they aren't telling us anything, I'm not going to stress over it either. Lastly, there are people talking about how weird it is to release a song about how they don't care about people insulting them and that they are still iconic even if they don't try, when in the end they are giving all those haters exactly what they want by paying attention to them, making them realize that their comments are getting through. And some people don't understand why you drop a song saying you don't care when releasing the track is already giving it importance. It's not the first song made against haters, and I don't feel you have to care to release a song, but I don't think this is the case here. It's normal to be affected when everyone speaks badly about you. It's not weird or anything. But releasing a song saying you don't care is also a way of helping yourself to actually not care, I suppose. Plus, it's not that they wrote the song themselves. It's obviously a hype strategy since they saw that these three groups receive a ton of hate and they put them together to release a track, unite all the fans, and continue with the concept that these three groups are currently carrying. Obviously, they aren't going to talk about flowers and butterflies. They were going to talk about the things that they've been talking about in their latest tracks. I am the best because I am your bias, it's us against the world, and we need to celebrate. I don't want to criticize the song because I think it's nice that they are releasing a collaboration. I find it fun, and honestly, even though I don't usually like this type of music, I don't feel it's a big of a deal either. I'm just getting tired of the hate these groups get simply because they are from hybe. I have criticized all three of them. Well, I don't think I've criticized I-DLE before, and I agree that if they do something you don't like, you should say it. But criticizing them just because they are under hype, and apparently no one likes hybe right now, doesn't seem right to me.
And this has been all. I hope you like it. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did. It would help me a lot. See ya.